Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's corporate pitch event focusing on innovation in advanced manufacturing. Thank you for tuning in from wherever you are. My name is Warren, and I'm part of the SGInnovate investments team, focusing on corporate engagement. Part of what we do is to provide corporates with access to deep tech startups that are relevant to their focus areas. Today, we are excited to have 7 startups joining us in this pitch event. They are providing innovative solutions in the areas of semiconductors and electronics, advanced materials, and Industry 4.0. Before we begin, let us welcome our Executive Director of Investments, Mr. Xianhui Tong, to give us his welcome remarks. Xianhui, please.
Thank you very much, Warren, and a very good day to everyone. And thank you again for taking the time to join us. As Warren has said, my name is Xianhui, and I head the investment team at SGInnovate. For those of you who are perhaps not familiar with us, SGInnovate is a Singapore government-backed investor in early-stage emerging tech startups. For those of you who have had the privilege of working with early-stage startups, you will appreciate that it takes a lot more than just financial investment for the startup to succeed. So by that token, other than investments, SGInnovate also has a team that looks into building communities of practice around specific emerging technologies, a talent team that looks globally to identify the necessary talent to staff up all these startups, and of course, a development team that helps our portfolio companies achieve their milestones to get to the next round of funding. As Warren has again briefly mentioned, today's event is brought to you by the corporate engagement team, which is part of investments. And whose objective is to really understand the needs of the market to provide a bridge between what startups are offering and what the market is looking for. The adoption of emerging technology is often driven by global trends and imperatives. Advanced manufacturing is really no different. Examples of such trends include the need for greater efficiency, customers' desire for more customization, the need for greater redundancy in the supply chain due to global changes in the macroeconomic factors, the growth of data, cybersecurity threats, issues around sustainability, the list goes on and on. So the convergence of these various trends and challenges is leading to not just companies, but also countries to explore how to adopt and implement emerging technologies in areas such as semiconductors, new materials, robotics, cybersecurity, etc. We are therefore pleased to have with us these 8 companies who operate within these areas, and we will be presenting what they do. I hope that you will find common ground with them and work with them as they bring their solutions to market. With that, I would like to wish you all a great event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Xianhui. To our audience, a gentle reminder of today's event format. Each startup will have 5 minutes to pitch. A poll will be launched after each pitch. If you are interested to connect with the startup, please indicate your interest via the poll. Without further ado, let's get started. First up for today, we have Mitchell from Inchfab. Inchfab offers rapid lab-to-fab microfabrication solution by deploying low-cost modular semiconductor fabrication platform. Mitchell, over to you to tell us more.
Great. Thank you, HH, and thank you, Warren, and the SGInnovate team for assembling such a great event. We're honored to be a part of it, and we look forward to engaging with all of you today. Now, Inchfab is the world's first microfab on-demand foundry service, providing rapid, cost-efficient microfabrication. Now, the microfabrication industry to date has really been focused on the left side of the screen, making chips for the compute era where standardized process technologies like CMOS could be used to make a wide variety of devices. Now, as a result, the industry has rightfully leveraged economies of scale and built centralized multi-billion-dollar fabs to service these compute markets. Today, however, we're on the right side here, in the beyond compute era, or what I call the beyond compute era, where microfabrication is starting to be used outside of mainstream semiconductor. So biotech and COVID tests are perfect examples of where microfab has been used outside of mainstream semiconductor. However, since all of these devices in the beyond compute era, in the beyond compute space are different and serve markets that are fundamentally more fragmented, a new distributed, decentralized manufacturing paradigm is needed to serve these markets. This is what Inchfab does. Now, another way of saying this is quite simple. If you want to use microfabrication today, you have to use the existing microfabrication ecosystem. And as a result, it takes $100 million in 10 years to bring a new product to market today. Now, this high barrier of entry really causes an unjustifiable ratio of NRE to unit economics, which therefore really prevents many viable technologies from reaching market. Now, Inchfab is a new fabrication solution offering low-cost, fast cycle time microfabrication solutions for non-mainstream semiconductor applications. We call these more than more technologies. So biomedical, IoT, aerospace, and industrial sensing. More importantly, we achieve this using our proprietary patent pending called Micro Foundry platform, which you see on the left here, which we use to provide foundry services to the larger community. Now we service our customers in across from beginning to end, right? So we start in the development phase, in which we provide 4 times lower substrate cost, 20 times lower process flexibility cost, and overall 60% lower development costs. Now, when customers move into production, we provide 5 times lower scalability cost. We have 0 cost of supply chain security. We could put a fab line anywhere in the world next to the facility or within a facility. It's a fab and a shipping container. And more importantly, we do this at the same cost per unit area as any fab in the world. And we do this being 4 times faster than any existing fab alternative. Now, Inchfab's foundry solution is live today with a tabletop fab line operating in the California Bay Area, at which we're providing full flow process development support to one of the world's largest biopharma companies. We're currently expanding our fab capacity and setting up a second line in Singapore as we speak today. Now, some of the select processes are highlighted here, for example. So deep reactive ion etch, deep trench etch, micro pore arrays, conformal oxide and nitride depositions. These are all critical processes that we provide. Now, we look forward to engaging with the excellent group of industry partners here today, assembled by SGInnovate. So thank you very much, SGInnovate. Now we look forward. We are looking for industry partners interested in accelerating the microfabrication process needs and creating a new microfabrication ecosystem for the beyond compute era. On the investment side, we also have an open financing round and welcome any conversation around further investment. Thank you very much. My name is Mitchell Singh, CEO of Inchfab, and please feel free to reach out to me for anything else.
Thank you, Mitchell. To our audience, if you'd like to connect with Inchfab, please indicate your interest on the poll launch now. Next up, we have Feyyaz from NewSilicon. NewSilicon is a leading integrated circuit company which enhances the human experience through creating groundbreaking integrated circuits. Feyyaz, over to you to tell us more.
Thanks, Warren. Hi, everyone. NewSilicon is an integrated circuit company with unique and proprietary processes. So our inspiration of starting off in this venture is the fact that silicon CMOS effectiveness has been tapering off, as well as the realization that future system-defining chips will be based in the areas of illumination displays, as well as power efficiency. Now, III-V devices have intrinsic benefits and advantages in these areas. But silicon CMOS, as we all know, is great at compute and is highly cost efficient. Our approach is to integrate both of these at a wafer level so that we can leverage the advantages of both. Our business model is based on an asset-light approach. We augment the design kits to add new functionalities, and then we use silicon CMOS foundries for processing of the CMOS and our foundry partners to do the bonding as well as the 3-5 processing to create novel chips. And these chips can be sold to many customers in many verticals in market spaces. We have successfully integrated 3-5 devices with silicon CMOS devices at a wafer level for hundreds of wafers to date. This picture is a silicon CMOS wafer with a GaN LED device. And these are processed at industrial level CMOS foundries. It has designs for large LED arrays driven by CMOS, as well as test structures for yield improvement and process robustness. And I'd like to point out that this is at a 200 millimeter wafer size. So we're not dealing with 6-inch type sizes. A cross-section of this wafer reveals the close integration that has been achieved. As you can see here, the silicon CMOS devices and the gallium nitride devices are very close to each other, a mere micron away. This close integration allows us to have high design flexibility together with efficiency advantages. Our near-term focus is the pixelated light engine for illumination and display areas. Our customers will be able to benefit from several advantages as compared to the current solutions in the market. In the mid and longer term, we are able to provide solutions for power amplifiers for both consumer and infrastructure sectors. This is due to the unique way we integrate the 3-5 devices with the CMOS devices at wafer level. Now, we have a strong IP portfolio across various technology fields. This includes from materials to processors to devices, circuit design, and even some application. This gives us a very strong foundation to go forward in this area. I would like to take this opportunity to also introduce you to the rest of the founding team at New Silicon. That's Dr. Eugene Fitzgerald, Dr. Kenneth Lee, and Keith Ng. We have highly relevant experience in industry, academia, defense science, and we have been involved with startups in our history as well. So a very strong team to move forward with. With that, I would like to thank you for your time. And if you have any questions or would just like a chat, please reach out to us. Thank you, Warren.
Thank you, Fayaz. If you'd like to connect with New Silicon, please indicate your interest on the poll launch now. Next up, we have Jax from Nanolumi. Nanolumi leverages the power of chemistry and optics to optimize light efficiently, enabling high-performance display, advanced counterfeit protection solutions, and detection of non-visible wavelength. Jax, over to you to tell us more. Jax, right, okay, Jax, I can see your screen. Yeah. Okay, Jax, your screen is on, but we are not receiving audio.
Hi, Warren. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, loud and clear.
Okay, sorry, I just changed the speaker. There's some audio issue. My apologies. Can I just start now?
Please, yes, please.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Jax Lee. I'm CEO of Nanolumi. So today I'm going to discuss how Nanolumi could bring the widest range of colors to displays, enabling product authentication and empowering imaging. Nanolumi is an advanced luminescence materials company. We leverage the power of chemistry and optics to optimize light efficiently through the creation, detection, and manipulation of light. This enables us to provide the widest range of colors for displays, enable product authentication, and empowering imaging. We were founded in 2018 with 15 employees based here in Singapore. At the core of the company, we start off with advanced luminescence material synthesis. This involves surface engineering, passivation, synthesis, and subsequently to make it useful, we work on formulation, material dispersion, and optical design. With our partners in coatings, printing, extrusions, this enables us to tackle applied fields in displays and product authentication. This is a familiar electromagnetic wave spectrum. Today, I'm going to discuss how Nanolumi's technology touches across this spectrum. In display, we are particularly interested in the visible spectrum. Our first product that is used in the LED backlights of LCD displays is enabled by chameleon film that has the industry's narrowest green emission that is cadmium-free. It has been validated and achieved greater than 90% Rep 2020 color gamut, and the product is currently in a multiple evaluation with OEM and brands with direct revenue potential of greater than $100 million per year. Next, in our display vertical, we have another product. It's a patentable color conversion inks that is used together with micro-LEDs in a blue micro-LED structure, where it's subsequently converted through color conversion, pixelated color conversion into a RGB. This simplified structure provides many benefits. With the highest optical density in blue absorption, this allows us to achieve very high color gamut performance without crosstalk of the blue emission and achieve color performance of greater than 98% for Rec 2020. Multiple development partners are currently evaluating the inks and incorporating it with their micro-LEDs. Next, with a simple extension from ultraviolet to ultraviolet and a little bit of near IR, we have our second business vertical on product authentication, Raya. Raya is a product authentication platform that consists of unique spectral signatures, an optical reader, and an app and a cloud deployment. This enables broad use cases in labels, inks, threads, master batches. We have been in mass production since 2020 for this market and serving B2B markets to ensure their supply chain security. We have tagged more than 1 billion products yearly and more than 3,000 tons of plastic products yearly. So next would be the possibilities of enabling what's next. So the two previous speakers spoke a lot about silicon-based maturity and cost efficiency. And silicon-based sensors is predominantly known to cover the zone of 400 nanometers to 1,000 nanometers. So in order to access ranges, spectral ranges beyond this zone, an elegant approach is to use materials that have spectral response that redirects into this particular silicon-based range. So here, one of the examples is to convert gamma and X-ray spectrum through scintillation effect into the zone. And we have materials that are under development with high intrinsic light yield, low to no self-absorption, fast decay, low afterglow, which is great for CT, and together with our optical design to enhance brightness and resolutions. Furthering down into the UV space, similarly converting into the silicon-based sensitivity range, the UV space of 10 nanometers, extreme UV to 400 nanometers, with materials that has high absorption ability, tunable UV absorption bands, and once coupled with filters, this could achieve spectral resolutions. A little bit further down the spectral range would be the near IR space. So over here, There are a few more interesting applications like LiDAR, eye tracking, and with materials that we're developing with our partners that use a photodiode effect coupled with silicon CMOS sensors. This range of materials is unlike lead sulfide quantum dots or lead selenium quantum dots that are commonly used today to enable new generation silicon-based near-IR sensors with tunable near-IR absorbers that are non-RoHS regulated materials and of a covalent nature. In summary, the core technology expertise in precision synthesis, engineering of advanced luminescence material, and optical design allows us to have a strong application focus with strong value creation. In displays, we have the best performing green emitter at the cusp of adoption. In radio, we have a complete authentication solution, forensic level security brought to the field. Emerging imaging applications with new enabling materials is also a space that we would like to explore more. So we are seeking corporate partners to explore more in this space. Thank you very much, and I hope we can make a visible difference together. Thank you.
Thank you, Jax. If you'd like to connect with Nanolumi, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on the screen now. Next up, we have Patrick from Xinterra. Xinterra uses proprietary machine learning-driven platform to fundamentally change the development of sustainable materials to meet the urgent challenges of the climate crisis. Patrick, over to you to tell us more.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, SGInnovate, for the opportunity. So my name is Patrick Tessonner. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Xinterra. As Warren already anticipated to us, so at Xinterra, we are on a mission to fundamentally change the development of sustainable materials to meet the urgent challenge of the climate crisis. So the current materials R&D process is very slow, expensive, and limited. Also, all the materials that we use in our day-to-day, they work, they do their job. However, they are suboptimal in terms of performance, cost, and especially sustainability. To solve this problem, we created our platform named XDF, or Xinterra Design Factory. XDF uses a unique combination of artificial intelligence systems, high-throughput experimentation tools, and in the team we have a deep material science expertise, especially in the fields listed here, which are photovoltaics, inorganic crystals and semiconductors, thermoelectrics, polymers and composites, batteries, porous materials, catalysts, nanoparticles, and however, we are not limited to these spaces. On using this platform, we help our customers and companies in general to radically accelerate the development and application of new materials. In this case here, a company spent 7 months trying to develop a certain thermoinsulating coating. So they tried 69 different formulations, none of them worked. So they hired us to help to solve this challenge. So basically, we train our machine learning with the data that they generated trying to develop these 69 formulations. Our machine learning recommended to them to start exploring a totally different space from the space that was being explored originally by them. And after the company executed this recommended experiments in their lab, so we were able to find 4 formulations that exceeded by far their expectations in terms of the performances that they were looking for, and all of this in less than 1 month. Compared to the 7 months that they tried and they haven't succeeded. A very important part of our platform is the high throughput experimentation tools that we developed. So these tools we design, prototype, and fabricate in-house at Xinterra. So this is one of our core expertise and a key differential compared to other companies in the materials informatics space. And here we have some examples of tools that we adapted or that we developed by our own. In this case here, in the top left-hand side, a tool to measure the Hansen solubility parameters in paints and coatings, solvents. In the bottom here, a tool to develop in a high throughput way the electrical conductivity. And on the right here, this is a carbon CO2 absorbing rig that we developed because we are using our platform to start developing our own materials IP portfolio for direct air capture. In terms of commercial models, so we help companies, we engage with companies through these three different models. The first one is providing service to the companies to help them to accelerate or to develop a given formulation of materials. The joint development is a co-creation of materials together with our customers. And the materials IP licensing is so as I mentioned, we're starting to create our own materials IP portfolio that in the future we will license to companies, and we are starting by direct air capture materials. So we are prioritizing companies in each one of these 5 fields here: clean energy, energy storage, environmental waste, circular economy, or carbon capture, utilization, and storage. On doing that, we want to advance with at least these 4 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and that therefore we'll be giving our contribution as a company to turn our planet into a more environmentally sustainable one. These are our team. So we are a team of material scientists and engineers. I came from the industry. I was the global CTO of a multinational chemical corporation. And my colleagues, all of them PhDs, they came from the academia, from many different institutions, such as MIT, A-STAR, NUS, NTU, and the SMART, which is the Singapore MIT Alliance for Research and Technology. We are looking for commercial pilots globally, and we'll partner with you to accelerate innovation and improve your sustainability footprint. Thanks again for the opportunity.
Thank you, Patrick. If you'd like to be connected with Xinterra, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on the screen now. Next up, we have Akansha from Sixsense. Sixsense is an industrial AI platform that helps manufacturers review millions of images at high speed and identify defects automatically. Akansha, over to you to tell us more.
Thank you, Warren. Hello, everyone. I'm Akansha, co-founder and CEO at Sixsense. A big thanks to everyone joining today and to SGInnovate for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to share about Sixsense. Sixsense uses AI software and computer vision technology to help manufacturers review millions of images at high speed, classifying production defects and eliminating costly failures. This helps improve manufacturing quality, yield, and productivity. Today, some of the largest semiconductor manufacturers are using our technology. They're using AI for analyzing 50 million images every year, which were earlier reviewed by a team of 50 operators, hence reducing their inspection headcount by over 90%. Our investors include SGInnovate, leading VC firms BNext and Stripe, and the world's leading talent investor in deep technology, Entrepreneur First. Sixsense has also been widely recognized in the local ecosystem, notably by the Deputy Prime Minister in 2020 for its AI implementation at Infineon. We have a strong team of engineers with expertise in manufacturing automation and AI. The team has more than 20 papers and patents published to their name. We're also privileged to be advised by industry experts. So how does our technology work? Currently, defect classification is either manual or with the aid of rule-based machines. The Sixsense difference comes when we introduce the adaptive classif AI. Here is an example of the process. First, the inspection machine captures and sends image data to servers. Next, the in-house operators and engineers classify image data based on the defect classes. Surprisingly, they still have to rely on human eyes to spot defects hidden in these images. One miss in the blink of an eye, and it could well be on its way to you. Today, we need not rely on decade-old ways anymore. An AI can replace humans and help manufacturers speed up the defect classification process. No more need to hire, train, or manage a workforce as the world's manufacturing capacity keeps multiplying. AI can run 24/7, remain alert always about new variety of defects, and flawlessly capture even the slightest sign of a defect. Our AI has proven high accuracy on a wide variety of data from various manufacturers. Leaders have been mentioning about our technology at various conferences. General Manager of Global Foundries spoke about how our product has proven value on huge variety of data from various products and processes. Executive Vice President at Infineon shared how Classify has improved yield and cycle time for them. And we don't stop here. It's a global manufacturing opportunity, and we're excited to work with high-value manufacturers. Sixsense offers more than an AI software. It comes with deep domain understanding embedded in the software workflow. This makes it easy for a yield or defect engineer with limited AI knowledge to set up and train accurate models within a few hours of time. Automation teams of companies don't have to source each building block of AI separately, as Sixsense offers a complete stack of all relevant tools from model deployment to operations of computer vision. If you're excited to know more about the fourth industrial revolution and are also looking forward to collaboration, we are looking forward to be chatting with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akansha. Dear audience, if you'd like to connect to Sixsense, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on the screen now. Next up, we have Abhishek from Movel AI. Movel AI is a deep technology company building advanced AI system for robot navigation. Abhishek, over to you to tell us more.
Thanks, Warren, for the introduction. So, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Abhishek, founder and CEO of Movel AI. We are providing navigation software solutions for all kinds of robots. The robotic industry is huge. It's about 55 billion market size. There are about 2.7 million robots currently in use, and currently Asia Pacific is leading the growth rate, and we have about 20,000 robotic manufacturers. However, this is giving a big headache to the end users. They don't really know how to operate the robots. They have to first learn Linux or SSH into the robots. Or it comes with the the robotic manufacturer's own interface, or they would have to remote in, or they would come with the joysticks to control those robots. But no one wants to do that. Let me give you a couple of examples of how we help these robotic companies. So where you see a cleaning robot company, due to the pandemic, the demand for the cleaning robots was very high. And this company had to deploy robots into hospital. The staff was quite packed, so they have no time to learn how to operate a robot. That's where they contacted us, and they put our software on these robots, and they were able to deploy 6 robots in a month, where they would have taken one. They would have deployed 1 robot in a month. Let's talk about another example. There's an industrial robot, there's a robotic arm on top, there's a robotic base. Now, they have to be integrated. They have to move in a large environment. And this robot was being used to carry the wafers, which are very expensive. So the navigation has to be smooth. Again, this was done using our software. So where we come in is the robotic companies, they take a lot of time to build the software, while R is a plug and play system which can be put on any robots. Secondly, it saves a lot of time to develop this kind of software and money, so we can save that. Even if they develop it, it's quite unstable, while R is more stable. Fourth, you would need a tech savvy person to understand these things. But for us, we are able to hear. We are able to give them the user interface system, which is they don't even need to know the Linux. So third, we can control the robots using a mobile phone, using your screen or your PC or your tablet. That's how easy it is to control the robots. So in all, we are reducing the sensor cost, we are reducing the time to deployment, and giving them a higher accuracy. So we do this by 3 products. First is robot navigation system. Second is our fleet management system, which can control more than 1 robots. Maybe if you have 5 robots, you can control it. Now, the beauty of our FMS is that if you have robots from different vendors, you can use our system to control. So for example, in a shopping mall, you have a security robot, reception robot, or a cleaning robot. All can be controlled using one single interface. And on top of it, we have Serial Simple, which means that for those who are not even tech savvy, this is just an app or a web browser based system where you can control, say you want to do cleaning, so just clean room A, you just tap onto that button, the robot will do the backend on that. So we have put our software on a disinfection robots, cleaning robots, 4-legged robots, load carrying robots, load pulling robots. So depending on, we can put our software on any robots. So imagine like how Microsoft can put their system on any kind of PC, we can put our software on any kind of robots. The way we are able to do that is it's a ROS based system where a lot of companies use ROS, and we put our software on it. And in the last 5 years, we have collected the data from different type of robots, different type of environments, and we have come up with this mathematical model. Third, we have gathered the feedback from the end users of how do you want the user's interface to be, how do you want the robots to behave, and that is where we have put up into our product. So we are giving feature recognition, semantic understanding, along with the good interface for the robots to control. So just to give you an example, this load pulling robot, we are able to quickly deploy in 3 months, even with the customization. And they are running a pilot at Inditex, which is the producer, like warehouse holder for Zara. So the team is quite dynamic. We have people from robotics background. We have people from a user interface background. So we have the team needed to make this product. And we have been backed by the government, Singapore government VCs. We have been backed by global VCs, and we have been backed by corporate VCs as well. That's all I have to present today. If anything, please let us know. We are also opening around for funding. So in case of funding, please let us know as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhishek. Dear audience, if you would like to connect with Movel AI, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launched on the screen now. And finally, for today, we have Vishram from Microsec. Microsec is the market leader in lightweight IoT security at the edge, developing the world's first unified protocol in securing industrial IoT devices and OT network.
Hey guys, I'm unable to start my video.
Oh, okay. Yep. Vishram, just hold on for a while. Our tech team look into it.
Okay.
Okay, Vishram, what we'll do is we'll cycle your panelists, right? So we'll temporarily change your access right before giving you the rights again. Just hold on for a while.
Hey guys.
Okay, Vishram. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Varun, for sharing the introduction there. Let me bring up my slides here. I hope you guys can see the slide here.
Yes, we can see your slides. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Thanks for a wonderful introduction and a great afternoon to everybody here. I'm Dr. Vishram, founder and CEO of Microsec. We're a deep tech IoT security company based out of Singapore, and we are going to discuss about its application over Industry 4.0. Within the past 3 years, we are seeing that there's a growing trend in IoT cyber attacks. And by the end of 2020, we saw around 700% increment in these attacks. And if you look into estimates by some of the sources here, we're expecting around $10.5 trillion in damages by 2025. Now, around 67% of the enterprises have already suffered these attacks, but they don't really disclose on the paper. Now, when you think about these attacks, they're not just happening over different verticals like the healthcare or even let's say consumer IoT, but also on Industry 4.0. We've been seeing these attacks happening over manufacturing enterprises, supply chain, owing to the use of SCADA system, DC systems, looking into PLCs and RTUs, and of course, mostly the connected systems that are out there. Now, when you think it from the point of view of the smart factories or Industry 4.0, the issues that we're facing right now is because most of these industries are using legacy devices. You are using devices that have been developed like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and you're still using it from the point of view of its ROI. Now, because of that, we see a lot of zero-day attacks, especially at the level 0 and level 1 of these network infrastructure. Plus, when you actually try to operate this kind of network, you are going to actually bring a lot of other rogue devices in the network that you're not able to actually intercept and figure out whether they are really rogue, whether they're meant for some use, as well as looking into any other applications out there. Plus, of course, you see other attacks like insider attacks. You are not able to, provide patches and update to these devices as well. And one of the other issues we are seeing right now is within the hidden IoT network. As we try to actually bring in more and more devices, we are seeing they are trying to be more and more devices behind NAC network that you're not able to see. And that may actually present a more persistent threat when you look at it from the point of view of attack scenarios. This is why we built Microsec. Now, we have two different product suites, monitoring and protection, that looks into different aspects. So monitoring suite is designed from the point of view of brownfield deployment. So for instance, if you already have existing infrastructure, you can deploy an agentless solutions to monitor the entire network and devices. It's able to look into the attack scenarios, figures out like how particular cyber attack is conducted, and based on that, it conducts certain models. It uses machine learning behavior detection to look into any kind of devices that are deployed there, characterize it, and figure out if its behavior has changed. It's also able to uncover rogue devices or any other kind of, let's say, network infrastructure that is being deployed as part of additional, say, incumbents there. On top of that, we also have a protection suite that is able to look into greenfield deployment. So now, let's say you're trying to deploy your new network, you're trying to set up keys and infrastructure, certificate management, and so on. You're able to deploy this particular suite there to look into zero trust, end-to-end encryption, as well as trying to actually make sure that you're able to provide a persistent threat management capability, not just looking into OT environment, but also industrial IoT environment. Now, these two products basically combines to provide you 360-degree protection. From the angle of Industry 4.0 smart factories, we typically look into from IEC 62443 deployment model. We look into level 0 to level 3 network infrastructure. From that point of view, we are able to provide you a full view of the entire network infrastructure. We are able to look into any kind of network intrusion or device intrusion that is happening there. You're able to detect anomalies that are happening over edge devices. You can look into this, the entire supply chain, all the way from firmware of devices getting deployed over getting deployed at the level 0, level 1 of the network there. You're able to also provide a secure FOTA capability, firmware over the area update capability, to ensure that any kind of new patches that are coming in, they are safe and secure. Plus, you can, of course, you can set up your entire certificate management capability as part of the entire network deployments there. If we compare with, let's say, other competitors within the industry there, so for instance, FireEye, Darktrace, Clarity of the word there, typically they can only provide you solutions that looks into the monitoring infrastructure, but they don't really offer on the protection suite side. Companies that are offering on the protection suite side, like Mokana, Agile, PQ, DA, they're not able to provide solutions on the micro ideas. So we as a company, Microsec, built the world's first 360 protection capability, looking into the both aspect, protection and monitoring, making sure that you're able to provide security all the way from the lifecycle management capability towards the deployment capability as well. Meaning that when you put the devices there, they have zero trust capability, ensuring that any kind of data that goes in, any kind of user access that happens is safe and secure. A little bit about Microsec. We launched in 2017 with headquarters in Singapore, and we have presence across different regions in Asia. We also recently opened our office in Germany, in Hamburg, and we are going to start a new office in Australia as well. In terms of the traction-wise, we secured, around 20,000 devices or 22,000 devices so far across different verticals, looking to smart city infrastructure like smart lamp posts. We secured over 3,000 buildings. We have secured energy-rated industry like power stations. We secured also one smart factory that looks into connected devices as well as supply chain 4.0. And we also secured autonomous vehicles. The solution is IEC 62443 and ISO 2001 certified. It's also NIST certified in terms of any encryption capability that goes in, authentication capability that goes in. We're also a SG aggregate company, meaning that we're part of Green Lane process. We can go with any kind of government tender up to $700,000 without going through the full tender process. We're also TR64 and TR68 compliant. That is part of the IMDA standard and compliance for IoT and autonomous vehicle cybersecurity. What are we looking for? We're looking for end users who would like to secure their smart factories or connected systems or industrial control system applications out there. We're looking for strategic partners who can help with the expansion, especially looking into value-added distributors who can actually help us with expansion into different regions, plus system integrators who are looking into this sector. Plus, we're also doing our next fundraise. So if you are investors who would like to invest in cybersecurity, please come to, talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishram. If you'd like to connect with Microsec, kindly indicate your interest on the poll launch now. Thank you all for tuning in. Please feel free to reach out to us with queries regarding today's corporate pitch event or for other corporate engagement matters. With that, we have come to the end of today's Advanced Manufacturing Corporate Pitch event. We would like to thank all the presenters for sharing your solutions at today's event. We would also like to thank our audience for joining us and staying till the end. We hope this has been an insightful session for you. We will be sharing today's poll results with our startups for them to reach out to you after today's pitch. If you'd like to speak with us regarding any matters, please feel free to reach out to us on the email shared in the chat. Once again, we look forward to seeing you again and have a wonderful evening. See you at our next event and goodbye.